to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. What about you?
Doing pretty good, and let me see. Before we jump in, I just want to do a quick check, tech check. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Then let me share my screen and make sure you can see everything. Can you see my game?
I can see.
And so, just to set the expectation, I will be writing you a brief summary afterwards, so you can have some notes to take, so you can just focus on what we're discussing today. And a little bit about myself. So I like to coach with a structure. So one of the different frameworks I use is called the GROW model, G-R-O-W, GROW. So I use this specific structure to make sure we actually gain MMR rather than just talking aimlessly. So with the GROW structure, we start by setting a clear goal, which is the G. Then we look at the R, which is the reality of your gameplay. We explore your options, which is the O, and then we finish with your will, the W, specifically what you're going to do differently in your next pub. Secondarily, when we get into the game, we don't just look at random mistakes. We're going to use a 3D structure. So typically, what will we do? We'll do like Act 1, which is setup, which is your draft and your laning. Act 2 is going to be the confrontation, which is like your mid-game movements and objective taking, and then Act 3, which is like resolution, the high ground sieging, and closing out the game.
Okay.
That's kind of how we just divide everything up. So, pivoting back to the GROW framework, so we're going to start with the goal phase of the G. So, what is your main goal for this specific session? Are we trying to fix your lane mechanics, or are you trying to understand more side of the game? What exactly are you trying to gain here?
So the thing I struggle most with is, let's say, even if my lane went decent, or you can say that even if my lane is lost, I want to know how I can recover back in the game. Let's say in the 10 to 25 minute period, I want to know how I can recover back even if my other lanes are lost. So like I want to carry the game forward. I realize because if I lose my lane and other lanes are lost as well, the map keeps closing out. So I need to know what to do as a carry player.
Sure. So let's start with the first act, which is going to be your draft and pre-game. So looking at your heroes, your Jug, you have a Lich in your lane, and you have a mid Viper and an offlane DK Mirana. On the enemy side, who are you laning against?
Dawnbreaker and Tusk.
So Dawnbreaker and Tusk. You're a Jug Lich versus Dawnbreaker Tusk. And what do you feel about that lane exactly? Do you have any ideas?
Their lane is pretty dangerous. I think they can kill me level 2 or 3. So I have to be pretty careful there.
They do have a pretty strong lane, like Tusk. Dawn is a very strong combo. So you do want to be aware of that. And the top lane, it looks like they have a Pudge and a Warlock, and then they have a Midweaver. So definitely a little bit of a weird draft. I will say in your bracket, you just see a lot of different picks without any rhyme or reason. So looking at the draft, what is your job in this game? Are you the initiator, the tower hitter, the backline jumper? What is your job on Jug?
I think so. I never play against a Tusk. Tusk is very rare in my games, and the one thing I realized after playing this game, I thought that a Tusk save it helps a lot. So I think I need to take out Tusk and Warlock first, because I think Tusk snowball save he can save, because it will take me a long time to kill Dawn and even with my Omni. So Tusk will have time to save them.
Yeah,
And anyway, I'm not catching Weaver with my ultimate. She'll just use her ultimate.
yeah.
So I think Tusk and Warlock should be my targets.
I agree, 100%. So the Pudge is kind of tanky. He's annoying. You don't really want to focus on him or use too much on the Pudge. Same thing with the Dawnbreaker. He's kind of tanky, and like you said, the Tusk can just save him. So if you're going on him, you have to be very careful. And then Weaver. The Weaver is actually one of the better counters against Juggernaut because he's just very hard to get on top of. So I definitely agree. You want to go on the Tusk, you want to go on the Warlock, take out the supports, and then pick apart the rest of the team, the Dawn and the Pudge and then Weaver, whenever you can get on top of him. So like with your team, you can have the DK as your primary initiator. The Viper is a very slow hero, so if he has a full commit, if you're taking a fight, your Viper has a full commit. It's kind of hard for him to get out. DK should have Blink in the game, but I'm not sure what he bought. Rana can get in and out of fights, and then like it's just your main team fight on your side. So like, the way you guys take fights is come on DK to cover the fight. Viper's kind of just in the mix, and then you're trying to get around to like test Warlock in the back line. So you're more like the back line definitely in this game. So who on the enemy team kills you? Who are big in this game?
I think Weaver did pretty good damage. And so they have two BKB piercing stuns, Pudge and Tusk.
Actually have three.
I think they have four instant Tusk and Pudge, even Warlock and Dawn ult. They also. I think I need to be careful because. What were you saying?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. The Dawn is actually a BKB piercing stun as well. So they actually have.
I was saying that. So this is my realization after playing the game. So it's not like I thought of this before. So I realized that I need to either kill the Pudge and Tusk and then get out, or I can't just kill someone else and stay there, because they can land their stuns on me and then I'm dead. Because Weaver can stand behind and do quite a bit of damage because she was farmed. So
Yes.
I think I need to get a kill and get out. So I can't stay there for very long.
Yes. Hopefully there we go. So I agree. I think there's a lot of threats on the enemy team. They actually have 4 BKB piercing stuns that can go through spin. So Dawn Breaker can stop your spin if he commits ultimate, Warlock ultimate can stop your spin, Pudge ultimate can stop your spin, and the Tusk ultimate can stop your spin. So this is not the freest jug game. It's a relatively hard jug game because you can't just spin TP out of bad situations. So you have to play knowing that your spin is not going to be very effective this game. That should be your main consideration. It's going to be very hard for you to spin. So in cases like this, some players may not even put more than 1 point in spin. They may put only 1 point and then go for stats. It just really depends on your style of jug. There's not really any wrong or right style. So some people go max Blade Dance. If it's a very bad spin game. If you still want to go Blade Fury, that's fine, because you can still farm camps really fast with the Blade Fury. But you just want to understand this game, you're not going to be utilizing Blade Fury in fights, or you're not going to be pushing out lanes that are scary and then spin TP out. So that's a consideration in this game. You're going to be playing mostly off your Healing Ward and your Blade Dance. So let's get into the first 10 minutes of the game. I think your laning items is fine. All this is fine. You're going to bring out some tangos quickly. So on this very first wave, you want to try to not let it run into your tower. So I wouldn't be as scared of him. If he's running on you, you're this far up, honestly you can just spin on him. When he uses his Q, you can try the time to spin and just deal some damage, run him down. He's not going to try to fight you, or if he does, he's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to take more damage than you will take. And what's going to happen now is that he pushed the lane into your tower. So it's okay, you kept this tower 1 here, so he's actually going to meet up again here. But you want to make sure you catch his wave. So that's what he did. This guy's actually dragging. So this is a little bit more of a higher level play that you don't really see in this bracket is people actually getting away with the dive here, with the drag there. That's fine. So like, these should all be free last hits. So I'm gonna give you a cheat code right now, is that if the tower hits the range creep 3 times, you can tap it 1 time, right?
Right.
You can also tap it 1 time before, and you'll also be able to tap it again. Same thing with the melee creeps. If you hit them twice, the last shot will always let you get the last hit. So if you wait, it looks like you actually did it there, so that one's good. So they're playing the lane wall, but it's gonna shut back out, so you kind of just see where the creeps are. It's gonna shut back into you, so you're kind of chilling where you're at. I think you don't have to be as scared. At least use 1 Q. I think we haven't used a single spin this whole wave, this whole game so far. And this is just free resources that you're not getting back. You're regenerating mana, but you're already full mana. So you're not losing anything by losing it. I would also consider, if you want to take more control of your lane, you want to trade more, click this guy more, take your W. It's level 2. So that way, even after you trade, you have the sustain to have more than him. So look at his items. This guy has 1 Tingle left, 1 Flare Fire. Like, you spin on him, and you have your W, he's gonna be low. It's very hard for him to come back and trade into you. Like, even like right there, he's doing that on top of you. You just spin because you want to at least get stunned. You want to get that stun duration, and it just kind of makes him feel bad. He'll start taking some damage and be on cooldown, and then maybe you're not getting harassed as much. I would like it even more if you just spun that last time and honestly start killing this wave, because you don't really want to take this full wave under tower. Why?
Because they can dive under tower, and they can even contest these creeps.
Yes, exactly.
I won't be able to get the range creeps. I think I missed them.
It's very hard for you to get the range creeps because they can just sit back here and just grief your last hits, and then if you're in a bad position, they could also try to dive, like you said. Like, that's the number 1 situations where carries die, is because they get too many creeps under the tower. I think this is fine. There's nothing you can do about that guy there. It feels bad here that this is gonna push really hard. So this is what feels bad, is that now your guy is dead. So you're gonna be in a 2v1 situation, and now this lane is pushing out very hard. So in this situation, what you can do, and I think you did it before, is try to drag the towers out of the range. If there's no one to click, you can literally look top, click the warlock, or you can like click on the portrait to get the aggro, and then pull it off the tower.
So I think I wasn't using the Q, because if I use the Q, the creeps will also get hit, right? So it will push the wave out. So I think I don't want that. So what do you think about that?
I think there's times to do it. So I don't know if your Lich was able to pull or stack you or anything like that, but there's definitely the last opportunity is when it's pushing into you. So you don't have to be so afraid, because this Dawnbreaker has been using a lot of spells on the wave. The Dawnbreaker is pushing it into you, so you don't have to feel so bad about pushing it back out sometimes. Because what ends up happening is that if the Dawnbreaker is pushing it so hard into you, it hits your tower and it pushes back in. Right? So you can balance it to where sometimes if you do end up making a mistake where you're pushing it too hard, then maybe that's when you try to shove it into their tower.
Alright, sure.
When you had a big creep wave coming at you, I think it's okay to spin it instead of letting it push into your tower. There's definitely going to be cues for when you want to spin. So, for example, I think you're also just not right-clicking this guy enough. Right now, you're just cutting this guy, farm the lane, which is like, there's not a lot you can do because they do have a strong matchup, but I will say that these guys are just not good players. They're not really using the strength of how strong their combo is. The Tuss is often away, and you're often in a 1v1 situation against the Dawnbreaker, and you don't really trade that bad. You have 8 armor, 72 base damage, and you hit very fast. Dawnbreaker hits slower than you. He has 117, you have 159 attack speed, you have 8.2 armor, he has 4.9 armor. So if you guys are right-clicking each other, you're gonna win the trade, especially if it's 1v1. So like, think about clicking people more, because the only way you get kills is that you're right clicking people and then you spin on top of them. So you're making them scared, because does he want to keep trading? Like, let's say you guys both click into 50% HP and then you try to use spells. If you both use your spells at the same time, who wins?
Yeah, I'll win. Yeah.
You win. Once again, the tuss is just like seeing what your lich back there. So like, you don't need to be afraid of this Dawnbreaker. So like here, right there, he's about to jump into you. All you have to do is right click him and then spin the wave. You start spinning him to damage him, and then you farm the rest of the wave with your spin, instead of just letting it come into your tower. That way you're just getting double efficiency. Anytime you can harass and get farm, it's always the best call. So it's not the worst. You are coming out ahead in the farm. So like lane is going okay. Oh, this is okay for the most part. I think it's just you're missing windows to be more aggressive in this lane. So you might die more often from being too aggressive, but it's all about finding the balance of how aggressive can you be while dying. That's what you want to try to be more aggressive, because when you're just so passive, you're not going to solo carry these games. So like in your bracket, you want to be that one guy that's just better than everyone else. You want to be able to 1v9, so that means that you're going to farm faster than everybody else. You're going to die less than everybody else, and you're just going to show up at the right times. That's like how you want to carry all your games. If you just successfully do those three things consistently, you'll win a lot of MMR, just like that. So small stuff will just come in. Maybe right now, instead of being 40 last hits, maybe you have 45 last hits. Maybe you're gonna be that fast. But you're already farming really well to where you can have a 12-minute Battle Fury this game. So this is a case, I think, to avoid this death.
Should have TP'd out, I think.
You just spin TP right away. This guy is being a little aggro. As soon as you see 3 heroes here, they have no way to cancel your TP spin. You just wand, spin, TP. Well, it's really not even the worst death. The focus here is just back to farming, trying to get a quick as a Battle Fury time as possible. So what do you know about farming patterns?
So I don't know anything specific. It's just that I push in the lane and get back to the neutral camps, and if possible, I should stack them. And follow each. It's not like I follow an exact formula every game, but I will push in this lane and then go to the neutral. So something like that.
So the primary focus you want to have is just a clock. Your farming pattern should follow the clock. Farming and clock time should be synonymous, the same word to you, meaning that everything about your farming depends on the minute mark. So right now, you're gonna farm this, and it's gonna be about 40. You can maybe farm this, and then maybe this, and then you wait for the next wave. There's also the option where if you wanted to walk down here, you could make it here for this stack, and then maybe farm this and then come back. So you just want to think about how much can you do in these 20 seconds that you have left here. And then on every new minute, it's the same thing. How much can you farm in a minute? If you push out this wave, can you farm here? Do you need this small camp? Does it slow you down? Or do you want to just go here straight to the water? And then using the river also is very good because it gives you bonus move speed, so you farm faster. So that should just be your idea mindset right now to get your Battle Fury by 12 minutes. So I don't even like this. So at this point in the game, so I consider the laning stage to be over around 7 minutes around level 6 on heroes. The reason being, a lot more heroes are going to be rotating around this time period. Around 7 to 10 minute mark, a lot of heroes start leaving their lanes a lot more often, a lot more willing to gank. Dawnbreaker I think has 6 but it's on cooldown, stuff like that. So this is 2 creeps. You have a full minute. You can just wait for this to come back here. So like, you can get 2 creeps here, or you can come here, get 3, come back down here, and then when it pulls back into your tower, you can come farm it here, because you're going to be getting more farm in a safer place. Because you came here, you're only getting 2 hits, and then you're at their tower, and it doesn't feel very good. Whereas you can be over here, farming these camps, and then you come back when it gets a little bit closer to your tower. It's not the worst, it's just like, you don't want to be aggressive, really. You want to get your Battle Fury. Your whole focus right now is Battle Fury. Lich maybe wants to kill, like you have Omni, but it's very hard. This guy has
Yeah, I'm not even Tusk, I think. Omni.
this guy has a double bracer, vitality booster. He just likes raw effective HP. That's all he
Yeah.
has. Maybe this guy, like you said, he has like snowball. It's just your job this game is that you want to get very farmed and then come online to win a lead. You come online, you get to your timings, and you come take good fights with Omni, and you go back to farming. Right now, you're just trying to get to your Battle Fury, so all of this is just gonna slow you down. And like, because you're doing stuff here, Mirana maybe is now coming to TP. Now you guys kind of feel like you're pressured to do stuff, and you're like, you realize now that you don't even want to be there. So you lost a whole minute from here. You got like 2 creeps, and you got nothing else. So like, this is those situations where you have to make a decision of, do I want to touch the lane anymore, or do I want to just jungle? Because Juggernaut is one of these heroes that can just flash farm the jungle. You move very fast, especially with the Blade Form facet, and with Blade Dance, and with the Blade Fury. You farm jungle very fast, so whereas if you're trying to fight with the enemy for farm, it's just faster to take the uncontested farm. Let your team deal with this. If your team doesn't come, you just let this tower go. You don't even care.
Yeah, this was a bad Omni from me.
You just want to be farming right now. If you Omni, you're coming the last person to Omni a support, and you get out. But it's not bad you lived, you got a kill. So now you're just back to farming, should be the idea. So at 1 minute you lost of farming, if you were farming that 1 minute, you probably would have your Battle Fury right now. So once you get Battle Fury, does anything change in your mind about your farming pattern?
I can take the Ancients
Yes.
fast enough.
So you definitely want to prioritize the Ancients once you have that.
Yeah, I got stuck by the Tusk Shards.
I think you have to just, as a carry, the minimap is your best friend. And you need to have a priority of, you cannot die. And especially the lower you are, the harder the games are to carry, in a sense that is more responsibility on you. So you don't care if your team is dying as long as you're not dying, because you had to carry the game. So when you see one hero, I see Dawn, I see Weaver, I see them looking like they're trying to position aggressively against my team. You see 3 heroes coming here. At this point, you just want to get out of here. You don't even really want to fight. This guy is level 11 and he's having a power spike. You just want to avoid anywhere you see Weaver. You go to the other side of the map just instantly. So you just have to have discipline. You see these 2 guys here. You see this guy dying here. So this guy's gonna die right away, and then Weaver's target is going to be you immediately. So this guy's dead. There's like no, even if you have to say, even if you kill this guy, you die. Is it worth it? That has to be the question you ask yourself. And it's just a no. You need to be the one guy in your game that's never dying. That hurt really bad. So now your Battle Fury should be coming out now.
It's 15-16 minutes here.
So it's like 15:30 now when you get your Battle Fury, and you were on track for a 12-minute Battle Fury. And 3 minutes is not necessarily sound like a lot in real life, but like 3 minutes for your first farming item is a very big timing, because in those 3 minutes you can farm so many creeps if you have the Battle Fury. So that's what hurts the most. And then you get Battle Fury. The game is already in a very tough spot because of how late your Battle Fury is. So let's say you didn't die those 2 times. Let's say the first death was under tower. Let's say you spin TP away. Let's say your second death, you just walk away, right? So that you avoid those 2 deaths, which are avoidable deaths. And if you avoid those 2 deaths, I think that you have more farm. You would have your top last hits 101, and it puts you top network from your team. But I think if you were just farming that whole time not dying, you're probably above Weaver, or at least like around 7k. So it makes it different when you start taking fights, because you don't want to take fights being behind the whole enemy team. It's hard to take a fight. You want to at least be in here past one of their cores, which now you are. So like definitely if you were missing those 2 deaths, you have a faster Battle Fury timing, and then you're gonna just be more farmed than actually the whole enemy team, I think. So at this point again, you see Weaver. So I think this is, we talked about, you see this hero, you need to play the other side of the map anytime you see Weaver right now in the game. Things change once you get some items. So what items do you think you need this game to actually to play the game?
At least butterfly, maybe.
At least butterfly. You need at least butterfly to do the damage to just rip them apart. Well, like on. So rocking in here is just like a no-no. Anytime you see Weaver, you go instantly other side of the map. Also, I don't like to farm. This is, do you know of the dead lane concept?
No, I don't think so.
So BSJ has what he likes to call the dead lane. I'll just call it the pressure lane. So let's say, have you ever played off lane before or any other roles before? So if you're playing another role, who do you mostly want to kill on the enemy team? Their carry. So like carry, the safe lane is like hot lane. Is a hot lane, or the BSJ calls it the dead lane, because if you go to this lane, you die a lot. I like to call it the pressure lane, because this is one of the lanes that is going to keep a lot of pressure on it throughout the game. Because the enemy safe lane, or your safe lane tower, is usually the first tower that dies. Either yours or theirs dies first, right? After that, this area is the enemy's area. It's very easy for them to invade all of this parts of the map. So you don't really even want to come to this area of the map anymore. Especially we talked about once you have Battle Fury, you really just want to focus on farming this triangle area. So a way that you can put pressure on the map as a carry and not just be AFK farming is that you come here, farm the triangle, you meet this wave, you push this in. As long as you see heroes that can't kill you, you push this in and you come back. You farm that, you go back to triangle, and you come back, you push this in, and people are showing, then you actually hit the tower. So you can get farm while putting pressure on this lane. If you're farming this side of the map, it's also just gonna be safer than the dead lane. This is just like the pressure lane. You want to, as a carry, there are games where you can sit here very long time. If you're ahead and you're playing Juggernaut or Lifestealer, you can definitely sit when you have your T1 here and like keep this alive for a long time. But this is not that type of game. This is a game where you're playing defensively from behind. So when you're behind, you just call this the dead lane or the pressure lane. This is a lane that you never TP to. You never really try to come here. If you ever TP here, you're only defending the tower and then trying to get the fuck out of here as soon as possible. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be playing around here. You rather be playing top side. But they dove, so that's nice, worked out. So like, you're farming well. You're now second net worth in the game, and you just had a couple of things that slowed you down. So you definitely could be top net worth right now, and that's your goal to carry every game, is that you want to be the guy who is top net worth. Once again, I don't like being on this side of the map. It's just like there's a lot happening, to where you rather just walk top and farm top, and then TP if your team starts to fight on your tower. Now, especially you don't have Omni Slash, you really want to avoid fighting as much as possible now. You should just go farm. So like now you're coming up here, which is good. Now you're like in pressure on the side of the map, getting out. Yeah, that's very good. Yep, that's very good. Like, see Weaver top, and now you're going bottom.
I was the Warlock's done with the golems. In that moment, I take 30-40% of my health is gone.
It is very strong. So team fight. So like, talking about the draft again. If you look at your lineup, look at their lineup, who has the stronger team fight?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have Dawn ulti and the Warlock ulti. That's really all they need. Very strong. You guys have the Lich ulti, and that's basically it. Like, the Viper can do some AoE, but like 5v5s are very hard to fight into them unless you're very far ahead, or unless you take a very good fight. It's just very hard to fight their team straight up. So like in that case, you had some, what y'all were doing before was good. When the fights that y'all were taking, they were split up in your tower. Those were good fights. This is just a fight that's very hard for you to even go to. Plus, you're not strong enough yet. Like we talked about, you want your butterfly before you're really hard committing to fights. So like here, you should be trying to hit this tower if you can. Yep, perfect. So like we're talking about, you're putting pressure on the lane, and then you're TPing back so that you want to fight. And that's what you want to do every time.
This was a good one, but sometimes I do the right things, but I think I don't do it like consistently with
intention.
What do you say? Yeah, I don't do it consistently. You can see that. Sometimes I do,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't.
No, I understand. Consistency is a hard thing for everybody.
Yeah, see, I died here. I shouldn't have stayed here.
This is just one of those games where we talked about it's just very hard. Most jug games you can do that, but just because they have so many BKB piercing disables, it's very hard. So I think this is fine. You hit this wave, and then you walk the fuck away because
Yeah.
nobody has shown on map. Dawnbreaker is coming up. You don't even have to hit this tower yourself because you have all these creeps on the tower. So you just start walking away right now. Just kind of walked away a little bit earlier. I think that's like the only thing difference, and then maybe I think you would live there. So the idea behind it was good. You just have to finesse it a little bit more.
Yeah, I should have had my butterfly by this point. I think 27, 28 minutes.
Wouldn't have Omni that.
A Fatal Bonds is a great spell.
It is, yeah. Be careful omning the golems with the creep wave coming in. You just
Yeah.
the Omni, you want to really bait people away to use it. Also, the later the game goes, you want to check people's items. That this guy has ghosts. This guy doesn't have anything defensive. So you just want to make sure you know who you can and can't Omni. So right now you can't Omni the Tusk because he has Ghost.
So I was going for the blink to jump to the back line.
I think you definitely
Usually-
need it.
Usually I go for the axe first and then blink.
I think with the butterfly build, I do like Blink after the butterfly because this is a very strong power spike for you and you can kill a lot of heroes. The problem is that you have a hard time getting on top of them. So I do like the Blink very much. The game was just very hard because you were never able to really get a lead. This is the first time in the game that now you're top net worth. It's hard, but it's still not unwinnable. You have to let the enemy team throw. So you have to be very smart the next fight that you take and get them expend a lot and then go in last to clean up. Or if someone's out of position, if the Dawnbreaker is out of position, if you can get like a Omni Slash on him, it's possible, but it's very hard with the Tusk, honestly, because he does have Blink and everything to save. So it's very hard when they have Aegis. You have to be very calculating on when you actually go in. You have to wait for that perfect moment. So now the snowball has been committed. This is something you're looking for. Maybe you jump here and you ulti the Warlock. You should be jumping in Omni Slash already on the back line on the Warlock.
Did no damage there.
So I think you guys could have honestly have won that fight if you blink Omni Slash or Warlock. The Warlock ult is what won them this fight, is what it looks like. Right here, you need to be already running out. And we talked about this. Your priority in this game is Warlock and the Tusk. This is what we talked about, right? You said it yourself. So you have to know this Warlock is still your priority. That is who you're looking for. To just get him out of the fight before the fight can even happen is very huge. So you see Warlock back there still. You shouldn't even be caring about these guys. You should be trying to just run and blink on this guy, ulti on him.
I could have killed him before he used his ultimate.
You gotta kill him for sure before he ulted. I think if you do that, this fight is different. He's like, look how low they get.
I think he's well, right?
Using his
That even
upheaval.
slows it.
He's just standing back there, literally just owning you guys. Dawnbreaker almost died. The Pudge almost died. It's for sure, if he didn't get to ulti, these guys would be dead. I think that's pretty much it for this replay. So that can definitely happen in games where it's a very close game, where you have to almost play perfectly. You did catch up to where you had the net worth and you had the farm to do something, but then your target priority in the fight wasn't correct. So I think that was definitely a winnable game. It was a hard game, but I think it was winnable. I do want to.
Yeah.
I think you could have won that game just yourself, solo carry.